will be delivered online. The title is Ice Hockey Action Recognition via Contextual Priors, and it's Kseniia, Buzko, Amir, Nazemi, David Clausi, and Yuhao, Chen.
Thank you for introduction. So I will share the screen. Can you see my slides and can you hear me well?
Yes, yes.
Okay, nice. Thank you. Okay, so hello everyone, my name is Kseniia, and today I'm presenting our research paper called Ice Hockey Action Recognition via Contextual Priors. So this project targets human action recognition in ice hockey. In our definition of action recognition, we focus on a single player within the bounding box and what he does, such as striking the puck with a stick, maintaining position, skating, or performing stick work. So traditional action recognition systems might rely on visual features or skeleton-based data, and they typically aim to categorize an action over a certain temporal window. Specifically, we are working with skeleton-based action recognition using graph convolutional networks, GCN. In short, GCN-based models for action recognition represent the human skeleton as a graph, with each joint as a vertex and each segment connecting to the human body parts as an edge, as you can see on the figure 1. So the edges that join vertices inside the frame are referred to as special edges, while the edges that join the same vertex across consecutive frames are referred to as temporal edges. Skeleton-based models are highly beneficial because they provide structured, appearance-invariant representations, making them effective across different camera distances. So, as you can see on this slide, this video from a hockey game features manual annotated actions, highlighting key moments of player activity. So this video exemplifies our goal for the project to accurately detect all player actions during the game. By accurately recognizing player actions, we can derive valuable insights into event recognition, leading to a deeper understanding of game strategies and player performance. So, unlike many other sports, hockey presents unique challenges for action recognition. As illustrated in Figure 3, players in broadcast footage are often represented by a low number of pixels, especially when far from the camera, limiting the resolution available for pose estimation and movement analysis. Additionally, in ice hockey broadcast videos, the camera is not fixed, frequently panning and zooming, which causes variations in player scale, perspective, and motion blur. To address these challenges, we propose CP Hockey, a context-aware pipeline that incorporates two domain-specific priors. By contextual information of broadcast ice hockey videos, we point to structured domain-specific use, such as camera-driven scale changes and stick poles that go beyond the joint coordinates. So as I said, in this work, we exploit two contextual priors. First, it's a temporal player's bounding box normalization, which stabilizes player scale across the player tracklet. And secondly, we design hockey-specific skeletons that include stick endpoints, as you can see in red, and also we exploited some optional detailed headwind marks, which I will be talking later. But before going into the details of our approach, let's first talk about the dataset we used. Our dataset consists of video clips extracted from National Hockey League NHL broadcasts with annotations for 6 primary actions. So these actions are stick work, forward skating, strike puck with stick, maintaining position, backward skating, and rapid deceleration. Each action clip is exactly 2 seconds long, corresponding to 60 frames at 30 frames per second. Let's briefly walk through what each of these actions represent. So first, the strike puck with a stick. So here the player's stick makes direct contact with the puck, typically to pass, shoot, or block. In forward skating, the player accelerates towards the offensive zone while maintaining balance and speed. In backward skating, the player skates in reverse, usually to maintain a defensive stance. Rapid deceleration, the player abruptly slows down, often to change direction or avoid contact. Maintaining position, the player remains largely stationary, often reading the player, like reading the play or screening the goalie. In stick work, the player demonstrates intrinsic stick handling to retain or gain control of the puck. As shown in Figure 6, actions as stick work and forward skating are significantly appear more frequently than others, such as rapid deceleration or backward skating, leading to the class imbalance in the dataset. So moving on to our pipeline, the CP hockey pipeline consists of 3 key steps. First, bounding box normalization in green. It stabilizes the player scale from frame to frame so that the skeleton doesn't become distorted. Secondly, pulse key point extraction. It's shown in orange. It converts images into skeletal representations. And finally, GCN-based model, it learns action-specific motion patterns and outputs the action recognition prediction. So firstly, I will start with explaining bounding box normalization step. So here in the figure 8, you can see that the standard bounding box cropping leads to special jitter and inconsistent player sizes across frames. So the solution was to expand bounding box sizes based on the maximum dimensions across an action sequence, leading to a set resolution size across frames. In our GCN-based model, we feed cropped samples from the whole video with a set resolution size. This slide shows how bounding box normalization affects pulse trajectories. On the left, on figure 11, you can see that row joint positions are scattered due to scale or camera movement. And on the right, with bounding box normalization, the same trajectories appear more stable and coherent, showing reduced positional variance and clearer movement patterns. In our work, we did a quantitative experiment comparing action accuracy without and with normalization, as you can see on table 1. And action classification accuracy improves from 31% to 57%. So after we applied bounding box normalization, next step is pulse extraction. In our work, we experimented with 5 skeleton configurations. First, it's 17 key points general COCO pulse format, where 12 key points are body key points and 5 key points for head. Then we merged 5 head key points to 1. So we got like 13 key points, and then 12 key points where we fully omitted the head. Then 15 key point with ice hockey stick endpoints, as you can see on blue, and 12 body key points. And then 20 key point comprehensive configuration where 5 head key points, 12 body, and 3 for stick. So after we extracted skeletal configurations, last step is to feed them in GCN-based model and get an output of the class action prediction. Moving on to the quantitative results, we evaluated two GCN-based models, ST-GCN++ and 2S-AGCN, and as shown in table 2, ST-GCN++ consistently outperforms 2S-AGCN across several key point configurations. For instance, using 15 key points, 12 body and 3 stick, ST-GCN++ achieves 64 percent accuracy, which is a 9% improvement over 2S-AGCN for the same configuration. So this clearly supports our choice of ST-GCN++ as a preferred architecture for this task. As I already mentioned earlier, our baseline starts with a standard 17 key points without bounding box normalization, yielding only 31% accuracy. Applying temporal normalization, it significantly boosts performance to 57%, and adding 3 stick key points further increases accuracy to 64%. And the best result we got is 65%, which comes from using the full 20 key point skeleton configuration, which includes 5 head key points, 12 body, and 3 stick key points. So these results highlight the importance of incorporating both object priors, such as stick endpoints and fine-grained cues from the head to effectively capture hockey-specific actions. Notably, we also did an experiment where we used only the 3 stick key points, and it yields a solid 52% accuracy, underscoring the critical role of stick dynamics in understanding player behavior. So this slide shows qualitative predictions across 6 representative hockey actions using different model configurations. As you can see, so ground truth labels are in green, while incorrect predictions are in red. So without bounding box normalization, the model struggles with subtle distinctions. For example, it misclassifies forward skating as a generic stick work due to inconsistent player scale. Moving to 17 key points with STGCN++, we see improvement, but it's our 15 key point configurations that start to clearly separate similar actions like forward skating and stick work. Yeah, and notably the optimized 20 key point setup performs best overall by leveraging fine-grained head and stick use. So these examples underscore how bounding box normalization and targeted key points help the model better interpret nuanced hockey-specific movements. To wrap up, our CP hockey pipeline introduces 2 key contextual priors that significantly enhance action recognition in ice hockey. First, a temporal prior helps stabilize player scale across frames, addressing camera-induced jitter. Secondly, an object prior explicitly models the hockey stick, capturing crucial stick-based motions that standard skeletons missed. In terms of performance, applying the temporal prior alone improves accuracy from 31 to 57%. When we add stick key points, accuracy climbs further to 64%, and our full 20 key point model, which also includes detailed headwind marks, achieves the best result at 65%. Looking ahead, there are several promising directions for future work, including automatic action segmentation, integrating 3D pose estimation via multi-view or depth data, and incorporating puck tracking and player interaction modeling to better recognize complex team-based plays. Overall, CP hockey lays the groundwork for more accurate, context-aware analysis of fast-paced, visually challenging sports like ice hockey. In the end, we want to thank StatLeads for funding this project, as well as providing the ice hockey data and valuable domain insights that made this research possible. That's everything from my side. Thank you for your attention, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask.
Would it make sense to separate like the stick actions and the skating actions, like because you can do stick work and strike the puck at the same time, then skating forwards and backwards? So
yeah, you're right. Like it's still like I didn't put here, but like in confusion matrix, it's still like struggles with like distinction in those two actions, but like it's a future work to improve it by adding puck tracking and also like location of the players, so it will definitely improve it. But now it's only learns by the patterns of the stick mostly to distinguish those actions.
okay, thanks.
Have you looked at the confusion matrix just to get some insights into which actions might be easy to mix up and which ones you might want to try to separate, similar to what he suggested?
Yeah, I looked at it and like and even when like running on the inference, there were like some problems with like maintaining position forward and backward skating because right now we do not include the location of the player, so it's hard like for the model to understand the like is player moving, like is player like skating a lot to some like from point A to point B, or is he like moving just around? Yeah, so this is like the most problem for now.
Oh, okay, so that would be a thing that probably could be fixed with augmenting with additional information then.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Also, like the data is limited, so we also work on this aspect, like to get more data. Yeah.
Oh, okay, thanks. Quick question in terms of computational overhead. So when you add the stick, etc., so you go from say 12 to 20 points, is there a huge significance in terms of computational overhead, or is it linear, or what's the overhead?
No, there are actually like not a lot of like compute difference because it's just like when it's in inference, it doesn't affect a lot. Training like took a bit more, like maybe 1 hour more. But the thing is that it's only like 2D coordinates. We don't include visual aspects, so the like I can say that like for training it took us only like 3 hours to train. So it's not like a huge problem.
Okay, thank you.
Is there I think like a question here?
Yeah, hi. Thank you. Thank you for the talk. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Do you only include players that are fully in the frame for the 2-second segment, or how do you handle players that might be in for part of the 2-second frame?
Yeah, so the thing is that like when we were manually annotated the actions, we assumed that it's like only our assumptions that usually like the action is 2 seconds long. So when we were annotating, we annotated only the middle point of the action, and then like in the model I had like 30 frames before and 30 frames after of this middle frame. Yeah, that's a good question. Like, it's another research project to analyze like how long usually like on average each action occurs. But for now, we just like made it under the assumption that it's 2 seconds long.
Okay, thanks.
All right, thanks very much.
Thank you.